main message of my speech is that to correctly manage diabrotica, you need to develop a good and sustainable management program in your area. And to do this, you need a lot of information about the life cycle of the insect, the life cycle of the crop, how the diabrotica interact with the crops that you have, which is the weather conditions, the climatic condition where you grow your maize, and also find a lot of information about the biology of the beetles. When the diabrotica arrived in my area, we were particularly concerned about these beetles because we grow a lot of corn in our area. So our farmers were scared about the presence of diabrotica, so they asked to my service to develop something that helped them to manage the diabrotica in our area. So we started to look at all these aspects before to have damage, to be ready when the population increase and the damage will become important, to give and provide practical information to farmers to correctly manage the beetles. Local conditions are very important. So what we do in my area is not the same that you can do in your area. That's a key point because diabrotica is a very adaptable beetles, and the impact of diabrotica really depends on the local conditions. So it's very important that everybody develops a program in his own local conditions. In my area, where we have irrigation, regular irrigation, where we have very good conditions for maize growing, we also have a lot of diabrotica, but we have a low economic impact of these beetles. But this doesn't mean that you don't have to do something. We suggest to our farmers to do the many things that they can to manage the diabrotica. First of all, crop rotation. Otherwise, they can apply soil insecticides to protect the roots and the yield. They have to apply good agronomic practices, plant in the right time, do the right things to let the plant to grow quickly. Another management practices that we suggest is to spray against the adults, but we suggest to spray when the females in the field start to lay eggs, because it's very important to kill the females that lay eggs to reduce the number of larvae that you have the next year in the field and to reduce the population level. In my area, for example, we don't have any problem with seed clipping because of irrigation, because of the local conditions, but in the area where you have this problem, you have also to check for this problem, because it can create a lot of damage in an area where you don't have irrigation or different conditions. Actually, the main way in the US to control diabrotica is using Bt maize that is not available actually in Europe. So it's not possible for us to import and to use the same technology that they usually use now. They also have soil insecticides, different from the one that we have, but with the same approach. It took several years to learn everything we learn about these beetles. But now we are pretty confident that we know exactly how diabrotica moves and do in our areas. What we want to do in the future is to improve the management plans that we have now. We want to test new products coming out on the market to see the efficacy and facing also the EU regulation with the ban of neonicotinoids that will change something. So we try to continually update and adapt our management strategies to the new technologies or new regulation or new situation that appears in Europe and in our situation.